What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to GmiasWorld Podcast, and we're going to be jumping into Week 11, 2019, Thursday Night Football, Browns and Steelers, and the number one thing that everybody's going to take away from this game is the fact that Myles Garrett just went Super Saiyan and just ripped off Myles RUDOLPH helmet and went crazy and tried to bash him. But I'm going to go ahead and break it down in what I saw. Okay, and then we're going to get to that the late skirmish and everything that happened. Pouncey, all these guys that are probably going to be getting suspended for the rest of the season. And we'll go over some of those other things. All right, number one, this game was supposed to be the talk about how Baker Mayfield was playing one of his best games of the season. First half, he's making the great reads. He's stepping up in the pocket, throwing dots, playing very well, showing people that he can compete. Again, regardless, he was playing against a really, really injury-riddled Steelers team. But still, with all of that being said, Baker Mayfield was having one of his best games. That's what this game was supposed to be about, in my opinion. I was actually, proud of Baker going into halftime. Like, this dude, he out here showing that he could ball, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is a rivalry that's been going on for a while. He goes out there and he's playing a great half. All right. Second half, the dominance continues. Mason Rudolph is not a good quarterback. Okay, I don't know how long it's going to take for them to just get rid of him or, do whatever, bring in the other guy. I don't know, but he's not a good quarterback. I think I've seen enough. Again, Juju Smith being injured, a lot of other things happening. Maybe that influenced it. He had 4 interceptions, whatever, okay? That's what I'm thinking. This is what's going on in my head before all the other stuff happens with this play right now, okay? So, before this happened, this is what I'm thinking. I'm like, all right. The Browns, even though OBJ didn't have a touchdown, he had like 60 yards, something like. It was a very pedestrian game. You saw it was a tough, hard-fought game. So you didn't expect it to happen like that, especially when these two teams meet, regardless of how bad one is. We went through a lot of years where the Browns were really, really bad, and they still had games like this with the Steelers. So nobody was expecting a crazy, high-scoring game, regardless of what anybody wants to tell you, else they don't really know about the rivalry. Okay. This is what I think should happen about everything that went on, just looking at it on national television. Okay, Myles Garrett is definitely crazy, okay, regardless, because some people are saying that, Mason Rudolph may have called him a derogatory statement. It doesn't matter. Like, this is the thing, right? When you're a professional athlete and you're making millions of dollars, I'm not saying that you have to be, just invincible to anything that somebody says to you and ignore. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that you're held to a higher standard, right? So you got to know that you can't rip the guy's helmet off and try to bash him in the head without a helmet on. You just got to know that. So something's wrong with Myles Garrett. So more than likely the league's going to put him in anger management and stuff like that, and we're going to have to figure out what happens with that. Because regardless of how upset you get or how upset somebody makes you, they're words, right? So you have to realize that your well-being and the way that your life is going to go after that decision, you have to be cognizant of that fact and not react like this. So this right here is crazy. So we have to treat it as such. We got to say, you know what? I've never seen anything like this. And I was completely shocked. I'm like, yo, is this guy serious? Like, I'm looking at it like, hold on. Is this guy doing a UFC? If you guys remember in the beginning of the year, he's been training with a UFC guy or some kind of boxer or whatever. Maybe he thought that that's what he was in. I don't know what he's doing, but this is not a good look. All right. So as I'm watching this and Pouncey's doing all his stuff and everybody's going crazy, I'm saying to myself, hiring Freddie Kitchens as the head coach was like the worst decision the Browns organization could have made. And I know some of you guys saying, like, what do you mean? What's going on? What's happening? If they would have just left it with him as the offensive coordinator, I think, and like Greg Williams as the head coach, I think that I don't think the team respects Freddie Kitchens. I don't know how, it's sort of like this, right? Mike Tomlin with the Steelers, it's funny that they're playing against Mike Tomlin because after AB got away with the Facebook Live and then they gave him more money, the Steelers were never the same. When the players lose respect for coaches, they start to do things that you recognize, like, yo, why is that guy doing that? What doesn't he realize, like, it's crazy? And then we look at it like, people that have played sports, you're really hurting your teammates. Like, that's like the major thing about it. Like, what are you doing? Like, you have to not really care about anything, but at least care about your teammates and how you're going to affect your team, bro. Like, that's why it's just really unbelievable to me that this guy did this, because it should have been positive talk about the Browns today. But instead, everybody's going to be talking about this because this guy Like, I still can't. Again, if he was suspended for the whole year and next year, like whatever, like I don't even really care at this point, because you can't have leniency with this, regardless of how violent the sport is, because it just shows a lack of control. Like this is the thing that's interesting about the NFL. It's like, you know, like how when they shock the bull and they make him go crazy. That's what I think about the NFL. They want these guys to be vicious, but they want controlled rage. So you have those 60, like, you know what I'm saying? You have the 4 quarters, you got 60 minutes to be an absolute beast, and then you got to put on your suit, get your millions, and go home and chill. Some guys can't do that. Some guys can't separate the field from life. And this is what I'm seeing. Like, bro, I don't know what to say, man. If you're a Browns fan right now, you can't be happy about this no matter what, because you want to beat them on the field. You don't want to literally rip the guy's helmet off and beat him on the field. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is just obscene and ridiculous and outrageous. And again, there are going to be a lot of suspensions, but I think Myles Garrett should get a fine and be suspended. Like, he definitely shouldn't play for the rest of the year. And both of these teams suck anyway, so it doesn't really, like, if we're just being honest about it, bro, like this year, both these teams have underachieved completely. So it's not like either one of these teams are going to be doing anything anyway. So look, just send them home, bro. You know, like, it's a wasted season. I know the Browns fans are disappointed. They didn't get a lot of the things that they thought they would. I don't know. I'm looking at it like, what is this, bro? Because I was ready to come on here and just talk about Baker Mayfield and just say, look, he's showing that he can make the reads and he's showing he can do certain things even in tough knit games. It wasn't anything too crazy. You saw a lot of camaraderie with the team. It was more of a situation where it was like, all right, they're getting to that point where they look like they're growing. As bad as the season has gone, it looks like they're growing. And then Myles Garrett turns into, you know, I don't know what he was doing, Venom? Like, because I don't, bro, what is happening right now with this team? Freddie Kitchens, if that guy is the head coach next year, the Browns should be ashamed of themselves. And again, it's a reflection of the head coach. It's a lack of respect. You cannot, like, bro, I don't care what he said to you. Okay, I don't even care. Like I know that Mason Rudolph was trying to pull his helmet off first or whatever. Myles Garrett is a D lineman that's like 3 times his size or whatever. It doesn't matter, dude. Like, if you want to tell the people afterwards that he said something crazy and you just walk away, that's what somebody would do if they know that it's a penalty for their actions. You don't do that if you respect your head coach, or you know what I'm saying? Like, bruh, this dude Freddie Kitchens, bruh, like this dude, he needs to be removed from the whole. Like I said, I gotta go. It's 95% Myles Garrett, and it's 5% the coach. But the 5% should be like amplified, because for him to even think that he could do this and it's okay. And then Pouncey, same thing. I know you're defending your quarterback, you're doing all that stuff like that. That is a lack of respect for your, like, this dude, like, bro, fire both of them. Fire Freddie Kitchens and fire the other guy, you know, whatever, Mike Tomlin. Like, I had enough of that guy too. Like, bro, I understand all the stuff with the team, you know, injury riddle and stuff like that. But even with other teams that are really, really bad, their players don't react like this. This is not a good look for the league. It's not a good look for the Browns, obviously. It's not a good look for the Steelers. This is a complete embarrassment of what could have turned out to be positive talk about the Browns, man. Like, I don't know. I don't know how you guys felt after you seen it, but I was embarrassed for the league, and I don't even play in the league. It's like, bro, like, what? Like, okay, so dudes can really come out now and just start pulling off anything and just doing whatever. You remember when Ndamukong Suh stepped in the guy's face or something with his cleats? That guy still had his helmet on. This guy ripped the guy's helmet off. You see, like, it's a next level of mental instability that somebody has to understand. Like, this man has an issue. He has problems, bro. You cannot do this no matter what. He has some problems that they have to probably figure out what's going on with. But I don't think we could take anything as far as like a high note from this. But both of these teams, like I said, they're downhill fast, pretty much. Both disappointing seasons. Suspending these players are going to have heavy impact, both, you know, for the teams. But I didn't think they were going anywhere fast, so it doesn't really matter. I'm just disappointed. I want to know how you guys feel in the comments, man. But I'm embarrassed for the league. I want to thank you guys for watching. Always make sure you know you can download GmiasWorld Podcast on the go in very, very simple ways: iTunes, iHeartRadio, and Spotify. One love, y'all.